What if I told you that Netflix just made one of the boldest moves in its entire history, a move that instantly makes the company riskier, slower growing in the short term, but somehow more valuable at the same time? Because after digging deep into Netflix's acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery, running the numbers, stress testing the assumptions, and rebuilding my valuation from the ground up, I walked away with three conclusions that sound contradictory but are all true at once. Netflix is taking on massive leverage, it's inheriting a slower growth business model, and yet the intrinsic value of Netflix stock actually increased by roughly 10%, and here's why that matters if you care about long-term investing. First, let's talk about the deal itself, because this isn't Netflix buying everything you see on paper today. This acquisition only happens after Warner Bros. Spins off its global networks division, meaning Netflix is really buying the core studio, the HBO assets, and one of the most iconic libraries of intellectual property and entertainment. And it's doing so at an enterprise value of about $82.7 billion, mostly in cash. Which already tells us something important, because when companies choose cash over stock for acquisitions this big, it usually means management believes their own stock is undervalued rather than overpriced. Netflix could have paid with more shares, but instead it's choosing debt, and debt changes the entire risk profile of the business. Because Netflix will be borrowing billions to fund this deal, which immediately increases leverage and raises the company's cost of capital. But Netflix believes the trade-off is worth it because Warner Bros. Brings something Netflix would take decades to build organically. A world-class production engine in the United States, its most profitable market. And that matters because streaming demand isn't slowing down. It's accelerating as cable continues to die and consumers expect more content, faster, and cheaper. Now, one of the biggest reasons Netflix argues regulators should approve this deal is consumer friendliness. Because today Warner Bros. Releases movies into theaters first, forcing families to spend $100 or more just to watch a film, whereas Netflix's model makes content instantly available to subscribers. And while Netflix has agreed to honor existing theater contracts for now, management has clearly hinted that over time the exclusive theater window will disappear, which is bad news for companies like AMC but great news for streaming subscribers. And it's exactly why Netflix sees this acquisition as strategic rather than defensive. That said, investors were skeptical right out of the gate because Netflix has always positioned itself as a builder, not a buyer, but management framed this as a rare opportunity to acquire irreplaceable intellectual property and keep it out of competitors' hands like Paramount or Skydance. And while HBO Max technically brings around 100 million subscribers across global markets, Netflix admitted there's heavy overlap, meaning the real incremental gain might only be 10 to 20 million new users. But again, subscribers aren't the real prize here. Production scale is financially. The deal structure gives Warner Bros. Shareholders $23.25 in cash plus $4.50 in Netflix stock, meaning roughly 85% cash consideration. And Netflix expects the acquisition to generate around $3 billion in EBITDA by 2026, along with roughly $2.5 billion in annual cost savings, mostly from eliminating duplicated corporate infrastructure like marketing, HR, accounting, headquarters, and boards, which implies about $5.5 billion in incremental free cash flow once synergies are fully realized. When I updated my discounted cash flow model, I added that additional cash flow starting in 2027 increased Netflix's total debt to roughly $60 billion, raised its after-tax cost of debt from about 5% to closer to 7.5%, and reduced near-term growth expectations because Warner Bros. Is objectively a slower-growing asset than Netflix's core business. And even with all those conservative adjustments, the intrinsic value of Netflix stock still increased by about $10 per share, landing near which tells you how powerful leverage can be when used correctly, because debt is cheaper than equity and adding debt lowers Netflix's weighted average cost of capital. However, this deal is far from risk-free, and here's where the story gets uncomfortable, because Netflix management sounded extremely confident when defending the acquisition, claiming they understand the entertainment business better than companies that failed in past studio mergers. And that kind of confidence should make long-term investors pause, because we've seen this movie before with companies like Peloton, where management believed they were smarter than the market and ended up overextending at the worst possible time. Even more concerning is that when analysts asked what Netflix plans to actually do with HBO long-term, keep it standalone, bundle it, or integrate it, management didn't really have a clear answer, instead leaning on the idea of optionality, which is corporate speak, for we'll figure it out later. And while optionality can be valuable, uncertainty at this scale introduces execution risk, especially since Netflix doesn't have much experience integrating massive acquisitions. Still, Netflix expects the deal to be earnings positive by year 2, plans to aggressively deleverage using cash flow while continuing buybacks, and believes the long-term content flywheel will strengthen rather than weaken. And that's why, despite the higher risk, slower short-term growth, and heavier balance sheet, I still believe Netflix remains a long-term buy even though I preferred the company before the acquisition, because at this point, backing out would cost Netflix over $5 billion with nothing to show for it and could hand valuable assets to competitors, which would be far worse for shareholders in the long run. So while Wall Street is clearly unhappy right now, with Netflix trading at one of its lowest forward PE ratios in years, moments like this are often where long-term investors are rewarded, provided management executes, because this deal doesn't make Netflix safer, but it does make it bigger, more defensible, and potentially more valuable if everything goes right. And that's the real bet being made here. Just remember, this discussion is for educational purposes only and reflects one analytical perspective, not personalized financial advice. So always do your own research and consider your risk tolerance before making any investment decisions.